Hello, my name is Leo and welcome back to Borderlands 2, the Thanksgiving DLC. The last episode, we beat the... what's the name of it again? The Warble... Wait, can I walk up there? God damn it. Is it the Wattle Gobbler or the Wattle Gobbler? I don't know. It just says the Gobbler. Oh, that's not very useful. I got some pants, by the way. It's nice. Some glowy pants. And all the loot. I've checked out all the loot and I've gone through and sorted it out, and I haven't actually activated it yet, but I've got two... Well, that's actually for a bandit skin anyway, so I might as well just use it. But I got this, I got glowy skin. Glowy pants. Glowy pants. So... I don't know if that's actually related to... I assume it's not actually related to, this DLC. But, if I get a chance, I'd like to actually change my outfit. But first, I just like to sell all stuff like that. Take the plunge! I'd rather there be a shop up here. Oh crap, I'm not gonna be able to carry this. Might be okay. I thought it was way too hard. You reckon? Oh crap, yeah, you're right. Shit. Oh, there's more stuff here too. Oh, what is that? Crap. Do I need the stuff? Fuck. I'm gonna try and see. The shop and everything's just downstairs too. A load of crap. Is it? Yeah, for sure. See it. Check that out. Well, let's have a look at what we got. Okay, so I got a better rocket launcher, which is always nice. Okay, I can use that and pick up something, so I'll just use that to remember glowy pants. Gotta remember glowy pants. Gotta check out that glowy pants. Can only pick up one thing. Let's see what they are. No, if they're not good, then we'll just leave it there unless it's like worth a bunch of money. What's that? PK. Actually, cooldown rate. Oh, that would actually be really good for level 15. There's one for the Necromancer. So let's pick this up because this is actually worth a bit of money. I don't think I'm actually gonna use it though. What do you got that's like not worth anything? That's kind of not worth that much. I'm not scrounging for cash here, guys, so let's just leave it. Okay, fine. But I worked out why I was getting the health regen, by the way. It was that. That gives you health regen. Alright. So I'm not gonna change, like, that gives me Embrace the Pain, which doesn't really do anything, but what does this do? Blood Twitch and Fuel the Fire. And Team Kill Skill Duration. I don't actually know what that means. I really don't know what that means. I haven't got the foggiest idea what that means. But what were the skills that it gives you? I'm not going to use it, but I'm just going to have a look. Blood Twitch and Fuel the Fire. Blood Twitch. Fuel the Fire is that one, which... That's the one where you get lit on fire. What was the other one? Blood Twitch. Where's Blood Twitch? Oh, there it is. Kill an enemy, increases weapon swap speed. Swap speed? Who gives a shit? Okay. Glad I wasted that much time doing that. We're back in a minute.
You can't stop me! Oh, What did I tell you?
You told him that you couldn't stop it. You were right. What did that do? Why was there an enemy there? Enemies are respawning, that's why. Oh shit. Before we talk to him, go out for a walk, because I want to sell stuff. Oh, I don't want to change my outfit, yeah. So, skin, glowy pants. Those are some glowy pants. Don't worry about it with your appearance, because I don't hardly ever look at myself. I do. So, okay.
Haven't found anything good? My weapon machines will fix that for you. I've always got new
I
stuff.
think you can go back and grab those weapons I had really done. If you really want, you can pick these little things up here, but apart from that, I don't really shit. Where's the elevator that goes back up? I don't know. Actually, it's not that far away. Where is it? Are we doing this now? Yeah. Yes, we are.
Cold out of you.
Gives me something to do.
Bury you with the rest.
Watch for there like a whole bunch of enemies here now. Well, there's at least... No? Okay. What's that all about? That's where the... Oh, that's where the thing comes out. What are the chances of all these items being displayed? Pretty... They're there. Okay. I was gonna say pretty good. Well, the ammo's all gone. Yeah, you totally don't have full damage in this game, do you? There was full damage in the first game. I have no idea about that. I forgot all about it. Hey. Bon appetit! Oh, that's what we're gonna eat.
Today, I am thankful for big-ass monsters and the mercenaries who explode them. It almost brings a tear to your eye, but you hold back because you don't want to look like a wuss, but that's okay, because real badasses cry too!
That's true.
I'm rising!
I'm all about the one. Because I need to sell this stuff. And to get my new hat. Oh yeah, new hat. How can I open the menu? So you already decided this stuff's all shit, yeah. We're only here to sell it. What about that rocket launcher? What about it? Isn't that not better? It is, apart from the fact that it uses way more shots than I want it to. Yeah, right. It's a waste of bullets. Yeah. You say so. No, you're my stupid head. Which obviously just gotta be a big turkey head. Ugh. It's weird. Show it to me. Ugh. Oh my god, that looks horrible. It's really horrible.
Why loot the dead when you can buy from me?
So we have another mission here. Which I guess involves the grandma.
Hey, class!
Who wants to hear a story?
My grandma's a pretty big fan of yours. Could you go say hi to her? Tana's told me about this place the other day. She's pretty awesome. Blood isn't shooting out of her face holes.
Hey, Grandma.
Oh man, it's the Vault Hunter! You are awesome! Didn't you fight Terramorphous? I fought a big creature like that once. He was a big whale squid with 100 tentacles. You ever thought anything with tentacles? Oh, of course you have. Terramorphous had tentacles, how silly of me. Now, where was I?
so sorry.
All right, the whale creature. His name was Blowhole the Apocalypse. I called him the Apocalypse for short. And he attacked my hometown of Tsunami's Edge when I was but a little girl.
Tsunami's Edge, I want to go there.
Tsunami's Edge?
No.
Great town, nice beaches,
Hell, I
great
want to go
food,
there.
and the cost of living is just so low. Even being a single grandmother and working part-time at a scat meat processing factory, I was still able to provide for little Mr. Torg. We may not have been able to afford the finer things in life, like food, but we got by.
What?
After all, Mr. Torg and I didn't have anything but one another after that horrible gas leak blew up the iridium mine, killing my son and his lovely wife. From that day onward, my little Mr. Torg vowed to conquer
So you are Mr.
explosions
Torg's
themselves
grandmother.
in an effort to avenge his fallen parents. And oh man, I forgot what I was talking about. Where was? All right, the Blowhole, the Apocalypse. So anyway, I was wrestling Blowhole to the ground, and I have my bicep curled around his blueberry throat. Blueberry? Sorry, I meant to say blubbery. I've got blueberries on the brain, I guess. I grow them in my backyard. Mr. Torg helped me plant them.
Why would you refer?
That grandson?
Why would you?
I love you, Grandma!
Why would you refer to your grandson as Mr. Torg?
Anyway, I have my bicep around his blubbery throat, and Mr. Torg starts crying because he really likes whale squids, and he doesn't want to see me hurt one.
They are the princes of the ocean!
So I let the whale go after giving it a punch in the eyeball so he'll remember me, and it swam away into the ocean. And
This
then
guy,
I
I'm
had
loving
Mr.
this.
Torg drive me to the ice cream parlor. He got me Rocky Road, because Rocky Road's my favorite. I'm extremely partial to the way the marshmallows act like little landmines of flavor amidst the battleground of chocolate. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Is it pistachio? I bet it's pistachio.
Hell
oh,
no,
that
it's
reminds
terrible.
me, you'll never guess who I saw today.
Actually, it's
Pistachio the Amazing! He's a magician who studied under Crazy Earl, so he's got that weird mustache, you know, but I saw him make a rack hive disappear. A whole rack hive!
Wow.
I said to Mr. Torg, Mr. Torg, wasn't that amazing? And he said, yes, it was, Grandma. Didn't you say that high five? You remember saying that?
I remember, Grandma!
High five. Is that
And we
his
stood in
nickname?
line afterward and got his autograph, and I thought I had it somewhere around here, but it's probably in the attic. I really ought to go up there and clean it out one of these days. I have so many little keepsakes up there. You're paying attention, right?
Hell yeah, baby.
Say, what's my favorite flavor of ice cream?
Pistachio.
Oh, that's your favorite flavor of ice cream.
Oh, whoops. Oh, whoops.
I'm sorry, Grandma! I'm sorry! They don't remember your favorite flavor of ice cream!
I'm finished telling stories. I'm sorry I wasted your time.
no. I didn't mean... Wait, what? You failed the mission. To try again. Return to the mission start location to accept the mission again? Are you serious? Are you serious? Oh, she did say it was Rocky Road. I'm such a moron.
I have a thing! My grandma, pretty big fan of yours. You go say
We're doing
hi
this
to her.
again.
Oh man, it's the Vault
Oh my God, we're gonna listen to it
You
again?
are awesome! Didn't you fight Terramorphous? I fought a big creature like that once. He was a big whale squid with 100 tentacles.
I'll tell you what, I'm
ever
gonna start
fought
the next
anything with
episode
tentacles?
when we've got the
Terramorphous
choice
has
to
tentacles,
pick
how silly
our
of me.
favorite or
Now,
her
what
favorite
was-
ice cream,
I am so
and we'll
sorry.
start.
All right, the whale creature.
Yeah, we'll
His
start the
name was
episode,
Blowhole the
down. So if you'd
Apocalypse.
like to
I
just
called him
skip-
Apocalypse for short. And he
I'm
attacked
gonna
my
record this
hometown of
anyway,
Tsunami's Edge
just
when
to
I
shit
was
something
but a
else.
little girl.
But if you'd just like
You
to
ever
skip
been
to
to
the next
Tsunami's
episode to
Edge?
where we continue
Great
this, if you don't want to listen to
nice
this again,
beaches,
oh,
great
it's great,
food,
great.
and the cost of living
Um,
is just so low.
yeah, I'll see you
Even
next
being
time.
a single grandmother and
name
working
is Zach.
part-time at a scat meat processing factory, I was still able to provide for little Mr.
Now those
Toy.
guys are going.
We may not have been able to afford the
at
finer
these two
things in
games.
life, like food,
got
but
two
we
games
got
that
by.
are-
After all, Mr. Torg and I
Another
didn't
game.
have anything but one another
Let's
after
try.
that horrible gas leak blew up the iridium mine, killing my son and his lovely wife. From that day onward, my little Mr. Torg vowed to conquer explosions themselves in an effort to avenge his fallen parents. And Oh man, I've forgotten what I was talking about. Where was? Oh right, the blowhole, the apocalypse. So anyway, I was wrestling blowhole to the ground, and I have my bicep curled around his blueberry throat. Blueberry? Sorry, I meant to say blubbery. I've got blueberries on the brain, I guess. I grow them in my backyard. Mr. Torg helped me plant them. Thanks again for that, grandson.
I love you, Grandma!
Anyway, I have my bicep around his blubbery throat, and Mr. Torg starts crying because he really likes whale squids, and he doesn't want to see me hurt one.
They are the princes of the ocean!
So I let the whale go after giving it a punch in the eyeball so he'll remember me, and it swam away into the ocean. And then I had Mr. Torg drive me to the ice cream parlor. He got me Rocky Road, because Rocky Road's my favorite. I'm extremely partial to the way the marshmallows act like little landmines of flavor amidst the battleground of chocolate. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Is it pistachio? I bet it's pistachio. Oh, that reminds me! You'll never guess who I saw today! Pistachio the Amazing! He's a magician who studied under Crazy Earl, so he's got that weird mustache, you know, but I saw him make a rack hive disappear. A whole rack hive! I said to Mr. Torg, Mr. Torg, wasn't that amazing? And he said, yes, it was, Grandma. Didn't you say that, high five? You remember saying that?
I remember, Grandma!
And we stood in line afterward and got his autograph, and I thought I had it somewhere around here, but it's probably in the attic. I really ought to go up there and clean it out one of these days. I have so many little keepsakes up there. You're paying attention, right? Say, what's my favorite flavor of ice cream?
Alright, here we go. Alright, yep. See you next episode. Bye.